I'm going to show you something that is unique to the best players in the game, and that is their upper body posture. Now, you might think, oh, this has been done before, and there's only so many things you can do for your upper body posture. But trust me when I tell you that there is actually something in common and very specific that these top players do. You might notice here that MacKinnon, as he's stick handling at speed, has his elbow out to the side and actually has his shoulder blades a bit protracted. And the shape that this creates is almost like he's hugging a barrel. Well, this mechanic is something that we call, or this posture is something that we call dynamic tension. You see, your body has muscles, absolutely, but then they also have fascia that surrounds the muscles. Now, these fascial lines create what are called slings. So you have these different slings in your body which stretch and contract passively. And what the best players do, the players with the best mechanics, they actually use a posture that uses those fascial slings more efficiently than everyone else. And we see here with Nathan MacKinnon that he has that posture, and we'll see how he maintains it. Now, what that causes players to do is it causes players to do some like weird things with their hands. For example, we call this the NHL grip code, which is you have your hands supinated. Supinated means that the palm is up. And if you ever want to remember this, the opposite of that is pronation, which is a hard word to remember and understand. But supinated would be like you're carrying a bowl of soup, right? Your palm would have to be up. And we actually notice that both his hands are up. Not something that's commonly taught. The elbow is out to the side, like I've already mentioned, and that connects across his shoulder blades and his opposite arm. But notice how as he stick handles and moves at top speed, how this remains the same. Even as he moves laterally, you'll notice that protraction of the shoulder blades, which is opposite of how most strength and conditioning coaches coach and teach. We still see this hand being supinated and up, and actually like up quite high. And we see this arm very bent, this top arm very bent. And that's allowing MacKinnon to have that fascial sling across the back. And we'll notice that he even keeps that as he shoots and as he reaches across his body. So there we see him reaching across his body, and you can see him again with this arm very bent. And he's not putting any downward pressure on his stick. It's actually all up and holding the puck up like that, or the stick up like that. And then it doesn't actually even really need to adjust too much when he shoots. So we'll see him deke in 1 second. And another thing to point out with top players is that they often have a very level shoulder, more level than a lot of players. If you want to get really good at this habit or technique or posture, you'll want to use that as a cue as well. Again, notice how level his shoulders are. That can only happen if the elbow is up. Now just imagine if you want to keep the arm straight and then also keep the hand in the same position, the only way to do that is to tilt your shoulders up. That's what we see with a lot of more average players in the NHL, is that instead of bending this arm here, they will keep the arm more straight, and that allows the hand to be in this position to keep the stick here. But the result is that the shoulder has to tilt up like that. See that with a lot of more average players in the NHL or players just outside of the NHL. Whereas players like MacKinnon, we see this a lot with McDavid, the Hughes brothers, Barzal as well. We see that more level shoulder. And then watch as he shoots. Again, he's still got that same mechanic. It's a little hard to see from that angle, but you can still see he's got that same dynamic tension that comes from, it's like he's hugging a barrel, and that allows him to use that fascial line to get a more of a passive stretch to move more efficiently. And so remember that when you move efficiently, and that comes from using the right mechanics, then what you have is you have more attentional bandwidth. Now that's a fancy way of saying it's like driving a car with the headlights on versus the headlights off at night. Or it's like driving a car in the bright sun where you can see your surroundings versus driving it at night with really dim headlights. Most players, they do not have efficient mechanics. And so that doesn't allow them to move efficiently, which reduces their attentional bandwidth. So it's like they're driving their car at night. They might have a powerful engine and a great looking car that handles great, but if they cannot see their environment, they cannot make smart plays. And of course, this takes a lot of work to get really good at this, and it still takes a lot of effort, but compared to other players, because you're more efficient, because your mechanics are more efficient relative to other players, you relatively have more attentional bandwidth. That's how we see players like MacKinnon and McDavid doing so well, as they have these mechanics. Now, if you'd like to learn what those mechanics are and how to do them, we have a 5-step program. And it's a free training. It's about we cover the principles of the downhill skating system. We'll show you exactly how to get started on this. So if you'd like to learn what those are, how to do that so that you can have more efficient mechanics, move more efficiently, and have more attentional bandwidth, then click the link, sign up, and I'll show you how. Thank you for watching.